Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru, Tyra Omilade, here to share a word of wisdom with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. Today is May 17th. The full moon is tomorrow, if I have it correctly. I meant to just double check, but we're basically in the full moon energy, and I wanted to get on and talk about what this full moon means. Just double checking. If you're on, can you hear me? I'm using my microphone and I just want to make sure you can hear me. Hey, can you hear me, Patrice? Do I sound okay? Because I have my microphone on and yes. All right. Thank you so much, beautiful. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here also. So I wanted to get on, and as I always do for the full moon and the new moon, and talk about what the heck is going on. So the full moon is in Scorpio, which anytime we're dealing with Scorpio, we're dealing with some powerful, powerful energy, because Scorpio is definitely about intensity. It's also about death. It's about dying. It's about transformation, releasing, letting go. Yes. So, Patrice, is this your sun sign? Is this your ascendant sign, your moon sign? What sign is this for you? I'm Scorpio rising, so yeah, I'm celebrating with you. I'm not gonna lie. I'm celebrating with you. I'm feeling pretty good. Sometimes I don't always know what to really think about. What is Scorpio going to be like, since it's such a significant sign for me? But right now, I'm cool with Scorpio. Sun sign, yes, yes. For me, it doesn't really matter. Sun, moon, or ascendant. Scorpio, we just all got to stick together. So this moon will be significant for you. Okay, moon in Aquarius. Noise. That's a nice little combination. That's a nice little combination, Patrice. Okay, so full moon in Scorpio. And what I'd like to relate it to when we're talking about the the Orisha tradition, or the goddess tradition, however you want to look at it, is this is the energy of Oya. I think that Scorpio and Oya are very similar energies, because Oya is about death, she's about dying, she's about transformation. And with this being a full moon, it is going to be bringing up illuminating, where do we need what the Scorpio message will be illuminated. You know, a lot of times we're looking at the full moon as this is the time where I can see what have I manifested since the new moon, or what have I manifested perhaps since the last Scorpio full moon. I don't know. It's like there are ways that we can gauge our progress, and I hope and pray that you feel like you're making progress, that from year to year, you feel like you're moving ahead. Even if you feel like I just moved a sliver forward, that means a lot. Sometimes we're happy to not move backwards, but if you're watching this, I'm assuming that you're into spirituality, that you are seeking to apply the wisdom of the universe to your life. And so every year we really do want to have we want to expect that we are moving forward. And so however you want to look at it, you're wanting to see what have you manifested, and you're wanting to see what is being illuminated for you. And the reason I love Scorpio is because Scorpio gives us the opportunity to release and to let go. And I'm learning that Scorpios, actually, we do well with Scorpionic times, because we're so used to change. We're so used to transformation. Scorpios, a lot of times, are really good at dealing with trauma. We can be some very, what's the word? We can bring the drama. We can create drama where there is no drama, because that's Scorpio. Scorpio is about transformation, and we want to change. We want to do things differently. And so we do have to sort of be careful of that, but that's our forte. Our forte is transformation. So really connect with the Scorpios in your life that have that balance, that ability to deal with transformation in a positive way. A lot of times when we're thinking about Scorpio, things are sort of like going to hell in a handbasket. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. But what did the phoenix do first? It burned. It burned and crashed. But what does Oya ask us to do? Oya is only asking us to give up that which we don't need. Oya is asking us to give up that which is not serving us. In the Mayan oracle, this is the same energy as Kimi, C-I-M-I, Kimi. And all this energy is asking us to do is to look at, during this full moon, what are we being asked to release and let go? It could be a thought. It could be a relationship. It could be a job. It could be something you've been working on for a long time, but the all signs indicate it's over. You need to give this thing up. It's done. You know, it has run the course. The you know, the lifespan is over. It's done. You know, it could be for some people literal death and dying. Last week, the reading that I did for the inner circle, I pulled the energy of Kimi, and I actually found out that a friend passed. Not a super close friend, but definitely somebody who's a part of a community, and a lot of people are hurting. I was actually really weirded out by that. So, you know, I hope and pray it's not that. My thought is it's more than likely you will be asked during this full moon to look at what needs to be let go of in your life. Anybody want to share? Put it in the comments here in the live chat or in the replay. But it's really important to know that when we let things go, or Yah asks us to surrender, when we let things go, basically what we're doing is freeing ourselves to open to the new thing that is going to come to us. A lot of us are very comfortable with the same old because it keeps us in control. And what Scorpio and Kimi and Oya are saying is that you need to let go of trying to control this whole situation, and stop being comfortable and get uncomfortable with change, or be uncomfortable because change has come, so that you can get to where you want to go. Just like I was talking about, we're trying to move forward. Okay, we're trying to get ahead. We don't want to stay the same. No matter how successful our lives are, we are designed to want more. We don't want to come and just hold on to what we've had. If we have managed to attain financial and material success, surely there's something else to do in life. That's not, I mean, folks going to be bored because there's a lot of people that have attained a lot. And this is to a certain degree, you know, the billionaires, so many millionaires and billionaires in this country illustrate how empty material gain can be. Now, I want all of us to be cha-ching ching. Okay, we're in Taurus season still with Venus. The sun is still in Taurus. We're still in Taurus. Y'all get y'all's money. All right, get your money, get your stuff. I'm not mad about that. We come here to do that. But there's always something else that is calling us. It could be a change that we need to make within ourselves. It could be maybe I need to really do a better job at relationships, or maybe I need to get out and be of service to the world. There's always something else, some next level that we're trying to get to. Maybe you have attained success in, you know, what you do, and you need to help other people attain success in doing the same thing. So we're always being called to be something new, to change. And this is what Scorpio, Oya, Kimi are all about. We are not here to just do the same old, same old. So that's just, another thing is, and this is something that I think is very, very important for a lot of us. Scorpio energy is about trust. This is why Scorpios to a certain degree, sex for Scorpios is so important, because it really indicates the ability to make a connection with someone else. So I encourage you all to look at trust issues that you may have. Some of us have trust issues because something happened and it caused us to not trust the world. Typically with Scorpio will be some type of trauma. Scorpio's heavy energy. I wish this was a nice little fun discussion, but I mean, I did not choose that this is Scorpio. It just is what it is. But it could be that some trauma has happened and it's compromised your ability to trust. Typically, we're struggling with trusting ourselves. So this is something that we really, if we have trust issues, if we don't trust ourselves, this is something that we want to look at during this full moon. Maybe it's going to bring up our trust issues. Maybe it's lack of relationship with ourselves, our higher Ori. You already know. I already know what you're talking about, Patrice, because I'm Scorpio. You know how we do it. But maybe it's lack of connection with our higher self, our Ori. And when we don't trust our higher selves, when we don't trust the laws of the universe, and typically lack of understanding them is what's going to bring us into this, I don't trust none of this. I don't trust the world. I've got to always be on my game to make sure I can keep everything in order and, really keep things under control. This very ego-based way of operating, it creates a lot of lack of trust. So what we have to do is begin to do our spiritual work, do our spiritual practices, and develop that relationship with our Ori, with our higher self, where we're walking with that energy moment by moment by moment. And when we trust it, then we will trust ourselves. And that way we don't have to stay in control of everything. We're not trying to control all of our reality, because we trust that whatever's unfolding, we know we're equipped to handle it. Whatever is unfolding, it's on some level, this is how it's supposed to unfold. Whatever's unfolding, I am out picturing it, and that's what's making it unfold. Oh, wow, cool. So it's so very important for us to look at what trust issues are coming up for us. A lot of us, I really know, we don't trust ourselves. We will let the world tell us A, B, C, D about us, and we'll be like, okay. Knowing we're like, that's really not who I am. But I don't really know. So they said it so convincingly that I'm just going to go with what they say. It's time out for that. So let me just move forward from the Metu Neter, the Kemetic or Egyptian oracle. I thought it was so interesting that the energy that I pulled is Herakahuti negative. Now, let me tell you why that's interesting. The energy that rules Scorpio is Mars. Mars and Herakahuti are the same energy. All right. So we get the energy of Scorpio speaking from the Metu Neter, one of the Afro oracles. So what I thought about with this, and it's all sort of like mixed in with Kimi from the Mayan oracle and this Oya Scorpio energy. Herakahuti says, well, the object of Herakahuti or Ogun from Ifa is the machete. The machete is used to clear all obstacles. When we initiate into Ifa and we get our warriors, one of those warriors that we get is Ogun, also known as Herakahuti, also known as Mars. And we got all these objects of Herakahuti. We like, Herakahuti, help me with this enemy. I got this enemy. This person is bothering me. I'm being bothered by the enemy. Herakahuti sits down with us and says, let me explain something to you. I help slay the enemy without. So you tell me who's messing with you, and I got you. But more than likely, I will mostly work with you on slaying the enemy within. And this is what we're being called to do, as we are called to release the glue that binds us to lack and limitation. We are called to take the machete and slice, 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 cut, cut, cut any part of us that is fake, that is phony, that is the lie. Herakahuti would rather cut off a part of his body than to live a lie. Anybody with scorpionic energy, Patrice, please step in. Is it Patrice? Yes. You know, we Scorpios, we do not like no lying. Do not lie. Scorpios don't like lies. And so you're being asked to cut away at all of the lies. Have you bought into a lie regarding your identity? Slice. Have you bought into a lie regarding, well, this is all I can have. This is all I can be. This is all I can do. Slice. Have you bought into the lie that your identity is your body? Slice. Okay. Herakahuti is saying, look, you've got to cut away whatever is binding you and keeping you in a place of mediocrity, in a place of being stuck. The Scorpio moon is saying, look, Oya would like to come through and blow it all away and only leave that which is real, which is you, your true identity, so that you can begin to move forward, so that you can step into the new. But we've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. We've got to get comfortable with change calling us into a new place. And so the other thing that Herakahuti says is, during this full moon, you must have the courage to go to the places where you're being called to, but you are scared to go. Herakahuti is like, I fear nothing. I don't have any fear. And this is what we're being called to do. We have to face that which is holding us back. A lot of times we're afraid if we unleash that stuff, we won't be able to handle it. But guess what? You think you have a handle on it now, but I would rather, and this is what Oya teaches. Oya says, I can come as a whisper, or I can come as a tornado. I'd rather go on ahead and just listen to the whisper and do whatever Oya is calling me to do than to have Oya come through as a tornado. And this is why Scorpio energy is so good for us. This is why Scorpio, and I love that it's a Scorpio full moon and it's going into the waning moon cycle. So this Scorpio moon is leading us into the time where we are going to be releasing and letting go anyway during this lunar phase leading up to the new moon, when we set some new moon intentions. So let's see here. And the other thing, just going back to what I said, Scorpio is about being real. Anybody who knows a Scorpio knows. Scorpios, we don't tell you everything, but baby, you better be real with us. We may not tell you everything about us because we got to trust you. Now, once we trust you, we'll tell you our whole life story. But if we find that there's any fakeness, we're not going to deal with that. We don't like fakeness. And I'm saying that to say that's what the Scorpio moon and Herakahuti is saying. Be your authentic self. This is where you're going to get as you let go, as you release, as you surrender. Okay. Yes. Kimi, the notes from Kimi says, cut away the outgrown parts of yourself. What have you outgrown? I mean, y'all think about it. There's these little kids and they'll go into the room. They just see a pair of pants that they like and a little shirt. They don't really think about, wait, do I fit this? They just put it on. And the sleeves are up to here. And, on the pants, it's up to it's supposed to be down to the ankles. It's at halfway on the calf mark, you know. And so that's how we walking around with these outgrown parts of ourselves. I'm on my own toes, all right? I'm not trying to be on nobody's toes. I'm on my own toes. We walking around with these freaking outgrown clothes on, called the outgrown parts of ourselves. Now, we let our kid walk out in public like that. We'd be like, no, I'm not going to let you walk out like that. No, you're going to go put some clothes on that fits you. Why are we walking around with these outgrown parts of ourselves? The problem may also be we cannot see them. That's the challenging part. But let me tell you, if you cannot move forward in your life, if you are staying stuck in your stumble, if you just can't figure out what the problem is, it might be that you wearing some clothes, you a size 4, they a size 2. Let me take look at a few of these. Yes, I'm a terrible liar too, Patrice. Let me see here. These a B. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. So yes, there are tons of lies I need to get rid of. Exactly. What are the lies you need to get rid of? And most of the time, the lies are the ones we tell ourselves. Oh my God. Whoo. Yes. Yes. Don't rush into it. Why did my reading did about why can't be religion? Whatever you're saying, Iris, yes, don't rush into it, okay? I love that triple moon goddess. I have no fear. Fear does not have me. And just to kind of go back to talking about that fear, that definitely is something that a lot of us live with. We just need to understand what kind of fear do we have. Sometimes we're afraid because we're moving into something new, but we still do it anyway. It's sort of like on the spot fear. And then there's some of us that have what I call chronic fear. And we just live with fear year after year after year. We're living with fear, and it just really holds us back. And a lot of times it's a part of our ego construct. Our ego is like, oh, this one responds to fear. Okay, let's just keep him or her scared. And we know we'll stay in control. But the fear, I think I heard Michael Beckwith say, is some of what we think is true is really concretized fear. It's fear that has become so, it's like rock in our lives that it really feels true. And I am beginning to learn that what's best for me is to release as many aspects of my identity as I can. Though I know in the world will be labeling me and all that kind of good stuff, I take the labels and I toss them, and I do not operate according to the labels. It's not comfortable, but I'm finding that helps me to release these constructs of fear that look like, well, this is just how I am. No. So I like that. I like that triple moon goddess. Very good, Diza B. I'm telling you, to hang out with Scorpios is not really easy because Scorpio energy is so intense. It's also very emotional. So this may be a time where your intensity level is high. And you know, Harakuti Ogun is passion. It's intensity also. You know, wherever Mars is in the horoscope, it's a lot of intensity and passion, all of that put there. So when you hang out with people who are Scorpionic, it is very intense, but Scorpios are the real deal. Scorpio is one of the most spiritual signs. Scorpios, just about every sign gets a bad rap. I mean, everybody dogs out every sign. Scorpios get a bad rap because Scorpios who are not in balance can be so paranoid and what's another thing? Like crazy, jealous, all that kind of good stuff. But Scorpios, their or the energy of Scorpio, because just like Diza B is saying, you don't have to be Scorpio. Like Diza B, you could have 3 planets in Scorpio that are not your sun, your moon, or your ascendant, and you will be Scorpionic. But so we all have Scorpio somewhere in our chart, and so when you are dealing with Scorpio energy, or Scorpio energy is one of the most spiritual signs. It's very sensitive. A Scorpio will feel a lot from everything and everywhere. And Scorpio is known to have X-ray vision. And so Scorpio literally is like, a Scorpio is going to be like, oh, something's wrong with that person. Everybody's going to be like, girl, you just met her. I'm telling you right now, something's wrong with that person. That's Scorpio. Scorpio is like, nah. And this is what we all can tap in and really get tuned into, the ability to have this Scorpionic way. This is why hanging out with Scorpios is good. Another thing about Scorpio is the oracles come from Scorpio, as well as divination. And well, that's the oracles, divination, as well as initiation, things that are taboo. All the secrets that everybody wants to know, that's Scorpio. So you may actually be open to receive some secret. Some mystery may come through to you during this this full moon. In the ability to really see things for what they really are, especially on the spiritual level. Because somebody was saying they didn't want to be pushed into something. It sounds like maybe an initiation. And it may be that person is sensing. And during this full moon, you can see, yes, I need to do this initiation, or no, I don't need to do this initiation. But hanging out with Scorpios and really catching the vibe of Scorpio, for people who want to be spiritual, you really need to hang out with Scorpios. I'll put it this way. Scorpios who are spiritual. Because we're all different. Let's see here. Where were we? Let's see here. Yeah. Yep. Right. Okay. So SNTRA. We have to lie to ourselves first before we can lie to others. That's good right there. That is good. That is really, really, like, I just don't even have anything to add. I mean, if everybody just really thinks about it, in the end, we know we're telling a lie, but typically before we tell others lies, we're going to be living that lie out, because we got to come off as authentic with that lie. So, yeah, we're lying to ourselves. Okay. Hey, Scorpio. Yes, another coinky dink. Exactly. Sagittarius. Hey, I love Sagittarius energy. It's so positive, and I see Sagittarius energy as the kind of energy that takes Scorpio and it can just expand. It can go bigger with it. You know, Sagittarius energy is that philosopher, world traveler, just openness. So, you know, Sagittarius comes after Scorpio. So after you burn and crash and you're that phoenix rising from the ash, you go into the Sagittarius land of, oh, I have a better understanding. You know, that's something else that we might want to accept about this Scorpio energy, this energy of releasing and letting go, that sometimes it happens because it needed to happen, even though it's painful when it happens. Whatever this letting go of process is very, very painful. And we'll understand it on the other side. I hate saying it that way, but it just really is. A lot of people say, yeah, I burned and crashed, but I'm better for it. You know, a lot of y'all have heard me talk about really working on my health and how I've crashed and burned over the last couple of years. And in order for me to move forward and feel like a normal person again, I'm like, dang, I really needed to crash and burn, because I better understand my body and I'm getting the truth about how we should eat, and not, oh, this diet is the best diet, or this is the best workout that we should be doing right now. I just feel like there's a way for us to understand our bodies, and I did not understand. I was not getting the best information, and now I do. I hate that I crashed and burned, but on this side of things, getting ready to go into 50, I needed to learn all of what I learned. Oh, ooh, Patrice. Okay. I hope it went okay. Huh. Very nice, Patrice. You know what? Vulnerability. Vulnerability. It's real. It's real. Good, Disa B. Good. Okay. Sinatra. Okay. Cool. Oh, okay. Sinatra. Gotcha. Centra. Sorry. Centra. So let me see here. What else did I have for you? Next thing I want to talk about is Sheps. That was the second card I pulled from. First of all, I'm totally loving talking to you all. Thank you. Next is Sheps. This was the second card that I pulled from the Metaneter Kemetic or Egyptian Oracle, and it's all about the ancestors. And so anytime, of course, we're talking about Scorpio, energy like Scorpio, it's looking at the old way. And what old way are we looking at? We're looking at our ancestral old ways. And so that's something to think about. But another reason why I think Sheps is so important, because Sheps is the ancestors of light. We need to be doing some rituals, maybe pour some libations, honoring our ancestors of light. If you're adopted into a family, just pour libations to honor your ancestors of light. All right. They know who they are. The ancestors are wise intelligence. Don't get yourself tripped up on, if you just say ancestors of light, they know who they are. If you want to be clear, you can say, if any dark deceased ancestors are hanging around me, you cannot stay. I send you on your way with light and love towards your healing. And just call on the ancestors of light. The ancestors know who they are. So Shep says, look at your ancestral legacy, work with the ancestors of light. If you need help with something, your ancestors really need to be your best friends. They will help you. You call on your ancestors to be a lamp unto your feet, a hedge of protection around you, a guiding light of wisdom before you. And they will assist you. Y'all, let me tell you, from now through probably mid 2020, oh my God, we need our ancestors to help us. Please, if you don't have an established practice with your ancestors, you really need to be setting up, working with your ancestors every day. I typically don't prescribe too many details, but until next year around this time, telling you need your ancestors. Plus, we have several planets in Taurus, and Taurus is about our ancestral legacy, and Mars just moved into Cancer. So this is a time for us to set up working with our ancestors, because there's a lot coming down the pipeline. And I can't tell you everything that's to come, but I just feel like Cancerian season is going to be a banger. It's gonna be crazy. I don't know how was Pisces season for you? Pisces season for me was rough. It was rough, and it's because it lasted so long because of that Mercury retrograde. The Mercury retrogrades are happening in the water signs. So Pisces was first, Cancer was second, and Scorpio is last. Yes, we're going to have Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. But let me tell you why Cancer is such a big deal. Because we're going to have those eclipses. We're having 2 eclipses during that time. I just feel like if we ever needed the ancestors, we sure do need them now. So I don't know what it's going to mean. I don't know what it's going to do. It's my gut telling me that we will be leaning heavily on our ancestors during this year into next year. So really and truly, the card I pulled was Sheps, and it to me matches the energy of. The other thing is sometimes our downfalls or our limitations, the things that we need to let go, they were put in place by our ancestors. Lord, I mean, our ancestors, they could have done a number on us, and their ways became our ways, and their ways were like really limited. And so, or maybe we have issues that are from trauma that are related to our ancestral lineage. So, maybe that's it. But it's the ancestors of light, so they're really working with us. Let's see here. Remedies that I wanted to give are breath work, because breath work does a good job of helping us to release, to let go. My godmother, she is all about the breath work and helping people to just really have a transformative experience. So I encourage you to set up some type of practice where you're doing some breath work, be it through yoga. A lot of times in mindfulness meditations, I use Simple Habit. Other people use the Calm app, and I don't know, it's something else. Headspace, I think, is what someone mentioned. But a lot of times when we're doing mindfulness practices, you're asked to breathe, and it makes such a big difference. It brings so much clarity, and it can bring calm to Oya's storm. This Scorpio energy makes us feel everything. We may just be all in our feelings. And so just breathe. And it can help us to get ourselves calm and centered. It may not change one damn thing in this world, but on the inside, we feel better. So breath work, candle work. You can, and I put candle work just because it's Herakahuti. Herakahuti has to do with hot, fiery things. But light a candle for your ancestors, or let's say you need to do some forgiveness work. So maybe you want to light a candle to do forgiveness work. Maybe you need to light a candle to do more things to love yourself, self-care. Whatever color candle you want to use, use it. Maybe you want to light a candle to bring in more money into your life. Whatever. Light the candle for whatever. And you can do releasing rituals. Like I said, this Scorpio full moon is leading us into the waning moon cycle. And so something you could do is write down something that you need to release. And you can write it on a piece of paper. You can tear it up and maybe you burn it. Maybe you tear it up, put it in front of the candle, take it and go put it in the river. Just as long as it's biodegradable, if you're going to put it in the river. Or plant it in the ground. Maybe you want to burn the piece of paper and plant it. But you're wanting to do a releasing ritual, and you can use a candle to do that. Maybe there's somebody who you need to forgive. You want to release holding something against somebody. And so you can write a letter to that person if you don't want to talk to them directly. Let it go. Let them know, you know what, didn't like what you did, but I got to move on. This thing has me stuck in unforgiveness. This unforgiveness has me stuck. So I'm letting it go. I've got to move on in my life. So it's over. Cut the ties energetically. See yourself cutting the cords that that the unforgiveness has you tied to that person. Let it go. Write it down on the piece of paper. Burn it, bury it, burn it, put it in the river, tear it up, put it in the ground, whatever. But definitely using the energy of the candle to assist you with this, okay? Something that you can say is, I release, I let go, I surrender, I forgive. This is an affirmation that you can say. I release. This is from Kimi from the Mind Oracle. I release. I let go. I surrender. I forgive. You can just say that over and over and over again. And we talked about trusting yourself. So how can you begin to trust yourself more? A spiritual practice that I love doing is pondering. It's actually one of my best spiritual practices. And you can just ponder, how can I trust myself more? And probably the first thing that'll come to your mind is where you don't trust yourself. And a lot of times where you don't trust yourself is where you'll feel fearful, and you'll be doing that crazy control thing that's it might get you some results, but it's a lot of energy, and you don't feel like you're in the flow with this kind of control. And so then once you can see where you don't really trust yourself, you can begin to say, well, why don't I trust myself in that way? Oh, well, maybe back in the day I was taught not to trust myself in that way. Or this situation happened and it made me not trust myself. I was trusting myself until this happened, and then it made me not trust myself. Well, that happened when like 15 years ago, 30 years ago. I think I can trust myself. I think I can make the choice to trust myself now, because that was a long time ago, and it's not really true, because in the end, I was right. They just made me not trust myself. Or it could be deep, you need to actually go and get some therapy so that you can finally begin to trust yourself and trust life based on whatever happened. Let's say you had somebody who cheated on you. You trusted this person, and you're like, you're cheating on me? I mean, I never even imagined you would do that. We were like thick as thieves. Like, for real? You cheated on me? Really? And it just does something to you. But after a while, after you get your therapy or you really sit and you begin to think about it, it's on them. People that cheat, they can blame the other person all they want. If you step out, that was a choice that, that person makes. And so, we can always look at, well, maybe I could have done this in the relationship differently or whatever. Maybe someone was talking about how we lie to ourselves first before we lie to other people. Centra, maybe I lied to myself when I should not have lied to myself. I saw the whole thing happening and I just lied to myself. It's like so much that we can learn. But we have to look at what has made us not trust ourselves. And then we have to start undoing all of that. And this is the beauty of Scorpio and Oya and Kimi and the sword of Herakuti Ogun. It allows us to undo it, unravel it, so that we can step into an entirely new construct. So, yeah. That's what I have for you all today. I'm like I said, I'm loving this full moon in Scorpio. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to feel in it. But y'all, look, just a little addition. This Venus in Taurus, and she won't be here long, is a really big deal, because Venus is very, very good in Taurus. She rules Taurus. I hope that you're taking advantage of that you are thinking about what is it that you want to manifest in your life, and how can you better take care of yourself, and, how can you value yourself more, and what do you want to manifest? Do that while Venus is in Taurus. And then on next Tuesday, I think it is the 21st, the sun and Mercury go into Gemini. Mercury, that's Mercury's sign. We have Jupiter in Sagittarius, we have Saturn in Capricorn, we have Neptune in Pisces, we have Venus in Taurus, and Mercury is soon to be in Gemini. That's a nice, these signs are in their signs of exaltation, even if some of them are retrograde, y'all. This is a really good time for us to really lay the groundwork, the foundation for what we want to manifest in our lives. And it's not necessarily material manifestation, though with that Capricorn and that Taurus, definitely it could be material. But just in general, what is it that you want? We all know that Venus is Oshun. So maybe you want to bring Oshun, a relationship with Oshun, more in depth. Maybe you want to have a deeper connection with Oya or Yemonja. All of these energies are indicated by where we are right now. Okay. So I just encourage you to really utilize this time, because next year at the top of the year is a level of intensity. We actually are in a time astrologically where we've never been before. And so we really want to take advantage of this time. The mothers have told me time and time again, y'all not going to be left behind. You can either walk or they're going to drag you. So I just encourage you, use this Scorpio full moon to prune yourself, lest you be pruned, so that you can walk instead of being dragged. Okay? And I like I said, I hate giving. I wish I could give flowery stuff. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like it when people are too positive in readings. It doesn't seem realistic, but that's probably my inner Scorpio. I just feel like I like giving y'all the real deal. You know, I feel like I give you the good and the bad. So I really, let me end on a good note. I wish y'all the depth, the intensity, the spirituality of Scorpio, the transformational aspect, however you want to transform your life, you know, for your highest and greatest good. I'm so excited that Scorpio is going to assist you with that. This is Tyra Omilade. You can go to my website, which is going to be changing soon. But if you need a spiritual reading, you can go there, goddessbodymindspirit.com. And I have an inner circle that I have created for people who want to either get my content first. It's just a $5 monthly investment in yourself. But you typically will get the content that I release first. And there are other levels if you want to go deeper, such as getting my readings that I put out weekly and monthly. But yeah, you can join me at patreon.com/goddessbodymindspirit. You all are amazing. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. Thank you to those in the replay. Thank you to those in my inner circle. Love you all. Peace and